Well, welcome to Cooking Book to Harvest. I'm Kimberly with Recipes for Success in partnership with the beautiful High Point Library. And we're cooking up the things that are growing right here in the library vegetable garden. Now today we're going to be working with kale. Now, alright, I know there's a lot of you back there who are making the bleh face. I understand, I used to be one of you. Growing up, my mom only knew two kinds of greens, but she said it every day, eat your greens, eat your greens. If I heard it once, I heard it thousands of times. The problem is, my mother only knew two kinds of greens. Iceberg lettuce, which is kind of tasteless and boring, and you know iceberg lettuce, it's the kind that looks kind of like a green football. And she knew turnip greens because she grew them. She grew them, yes, that's it. It's important to be grammatically correct. My mother grew turnip greens, and so we had them at least once a week. But the problem is my mother would cook them into submission. She would boil them and boil them and boil them, and just when you think they were done, she boiled them for a little while longer until they were just nothing but green slime. And as a child, I greeted either offering iceberg lettuce or turnip greens with the same reaction. Blech. And my mother did not appreciate that. Years later, when I was a mother, I didn't appreciate the bleh either. But here's what I learned. If there's a food you don't like, it may be you haven't tried it the right way. There are dozens of different ways to eat lettuce, for example. And by the way, did you know that there's even dozens of different kinds of lettuces and greens? We're going to talk about one of them today, and that's kale. Now, growing up, I thought kale was this curly stuff that you saw at salad bars that was kind of tucked around as garnish because it's pretty and it's fluffy and ruffly, and I didn't know you could actually eat it. Turns out, not only can you eat it, but it's a powerhouse of nutrition for you. It's full of fiber, it's full of iron, it's full of calcium. There's more calcium and 2 leaves of kale than there is in a half cup of milk. Can you believe that? We know about drinking milk and calcium. This has even more. It has vitamins K, vitamins A, and it's full of antioxidants. What are antioxidants good? Well, among other things, they're good for boosting your immune system. And if there's anything that we've learned in this last year, we need really good, strong immune systems. So, I'm going to say it. Yes, Mother, I'm saying it. Eat your greens. Now, a lot of people, in fact, the person who was filming this told me, oh, I hate kale, just hate it. Well, I've got a form of kale here that is wonderful. But I'm going to tell you about how I learned about kale, how I came to be a kale convert. Yes, brothers and sisters, I too used to reject kale until now. Yes, brothers and sisters, I have seen the light. I have climbed the mountaintop, and when I get there, I feast on kale because I have learned the trick of kale, and the trick is massaging it. I know that sounds strange, but I'm going to tell you a little story. A couple of years ago, I was at a food fair volunteering, and as a reward, the organizers brought all of us volunteers these ginormous garbage bags full of kale, and they presented it to us like it's a reward. I was raised properly, as I'm sure you were. If someone were to give me a giant bag of monkey poop, I would say, oh, thank you very much, just take it and leave with it. But here I am holding this garbage bag full of kale, and all the people around me are going, oh, it's kale, thank you so much. And they were so excited. I mean, you would have thought that kale made them tingly, they were so excited. And I was listening to them going, ooh, how do you massage your kale? Well, that got my attention. Massaging kale, that just sounds strange. Turns out, the trick to making kale enjoyable is drawing out this bitterness and making it, right now, in its natural state, kale is pretty tough. And it's not bad, but yeah, there's definitely some bitterness to it. So the trick to making it yummy is to draw out the bitterness and making it more tender so it's easier to eat. And the trick to that is massaging. I'm going to show you something, another trick with kale. You don't want to ink the stem. See this centerpiece of the stem? That's where most of the bitterness is. You don't want that part. So, and I didn't know that for years. So what you do, you just peel it off, just like so, leaving the stem intact. And putting that away for something else, I guess. It goes great in your compost garden. And then you've got a nice amount of kale. Now, I take my kale, and now this looks like a lot of kale, right? Watch what I'm about to do. This is a gallon baggie, and I'm going to try to fit all of this in this gallon baggie, and it's going to be pretty full, not quite completely full. There we go. Put it off to one side. Now I'm going to add some lemon juice. Sit there. There. I'm going to add a couple of good splashes of lemon juice. Because lemon juice is an acid, you know. Of course you knew that. Then add a little bit of oil. You can use olive oil, which is my favorite, or you can use almost any good vegetable oil. Actually, most vegetable oils have a little bit of olive oil in it. Doesn't take much, just a bit. And then you're going to add salt. I love this. This is nice coarse salt, so it'll do a great job. And we add this. You can also add some garlic at this point, but I'm not going to do that. Now this is coming up is the fun part. Put it off to one side, seal it up. Squish most of the air out. And now you're going to massage your kale. Now massaging your kale can be done gently. Just put it between your hands and do it this way. The more you massage it, the more you're going to see it going green, green, green. And it's going to be drawing out all of the bitterness, and it's going to make it tender to the taste. Alright, I've been massaging for about 5 minutes, and I want to show you something. Remember that very full bag? Look how much it's reduced by. This bag was up to here, it's down to half of that. And it did feel almost like a bag of potato chips. Now it's much softer. And best of all, look at that beautiful, brilliant green color. You're going to see this better in a minute. Now I'm just going to let this sit here. I've given it quite a pummeling, so we're going to let it rest for a minute. Now I am going to go over to the stove, and I've got maybe about a half cup of walnuts here. And I'm going to toast them on the stovetop. And what toasting nuts does is it brings out, it caramelizes the edges. And you know what we've talked about in other classes, brown means flavor. We're going to brown these up and bring out the best of the nutty flavor. So I've got my nuts cut up, and I'm just going to, I've got the heat on, and I'm heating up my pan. I'm just going to put my nuts right in here. And they're just going to cook here. I'm going to give them a stir every couple of minutes. Doesn't take long, but I will say nuts can be a little tricky on you. You don't want to leave them to go wash up or do something else, because in the difference between, oh, they're just perfect, and oh dear, I've burnt a pan of nuts, is about 30 seconds. So you're just going to stir them for about a minute, minute and a half. Now that we've got our nuts out, I'm going to add just a tiny bit of oil to the pan. About a tablespoon, that's all you need. And now, I'm going to let that get good and warm. And then I'm going to take our greens. And I'm going to be real careful not to take, if you look at the bottom, you're going to see there's some of this green fluid that's starting to gather. Now that's got the bitterness that is drawn out. So that's not the part we're going to use. I want to be careful not to get the bitter juices that the massage has drawn out. So I'm just going to go in and pick up my greens. Look at what a beautiful shade of green this is. We're going to saute just for a few minutes. And when I say a few minutes, I mean 120 seconds. And now we're going to add our toasted nuts. We're going to add some bacon crumbles, not much, just about a tablespoonful. And lastly, we're going to add some dried cranberries. You probably think this is a strange combination of things, and I bet you wouldn't have thought about putting nuts, greens, bacon, and cranberries all together, but I'm telling you, this is marvelous. Turn off the heat for the last 30 seconds. You don't want to overcook this. You don't want to completely wilt everything. Now, we have our sauteed nuts, a little bit of bacon, some lovely cranberries, but it's not quite ready yet because greens need a little bit of dressing. And for the dressing on this, we're going to use a little bit of something called a balsamic glaze. Now you might think, balsamic, isn't that a kind of vinegar? It is. And of course we just spent some time taking bitterness out, but this is going to be delicious on your greens. You're just going to give it a quick daub. You can use a little bit more and then toss it. And I guarantee you, this is going to be marvelous. And it's not going to taste like what you think either. So get a big, nice forkful. I have to blow a little on it a minute. Delicious. Crunchy, not too chewy, full of vitamins, and absolutely delicious. Give it a try and take a picture of it and send it to me. I'd love to see it. See you next time and happy harvesting.